Okay, now it's time to get a little bit more artistic. Now, one of the things I do find irritating about Canva is that I have to scroll down through the layouts to get that one image layout template. So in order to skip that rigmarole, I usually just pick something very simple. This top one is a perfect example. So it's already got an image embedded in the background. And what I mean by that is if you were to select background color, you can't replace that with one of your uploaded images. But if you have a background that's already an image, then you can replace it. So what I mean is, when you click on your uploads and you select one of your images, when you drag it across, you can see it pops into place. And that's what I want to do here. Now, just bear in mind that if it's from a layout, you may well have to select and click on filter, just to make sure that you've removed everything and that you're starting from scratch. So I'm going to delete these elements so that we've got a pretty clean palette. So we're starting with the background image that I want to use. So this is obviously a very untidy, messy, busy image. So if you want to put text on top of it, you're going to have to make it a little bit either blurred or darkened, or you could put a shape above it. So let's look at those different options. So the first one is to pop into filter, click on advanced, and blur the image. Okay, that's maybe a bit too much blur, but you see what I mean. And that means that when we click on text and add heading, and I'm going to change the color to white, and I want to change the layout to justified. I'm going to scroll this in slightly. There we go. Now here I can just drag and drop. What I can also do is, while that image is highlighted, you can just use the arrow keys to move it 1 pixel, or shift arrow to move it 10 pixels at a time. So that's a nice quick way to move things around the screen. So let's deal with this blur. So if I go back into filter, advanced, I'm going to take the blur down a little bit. There we go, that's slightly better. Okay, what about some alternatives to that option? Let's take that blur out completely. So we are back to how it was. Ooh, messy again. Okay, so what I could do here is I could go into elements, select a shape. Now I'm going to put this shape over that section of the image where the text lives. Now you can see the text is hidden. I do want to move it back one so that the text will be on top, but while it's this color, we're never going to see it. So either I can make it a little bit more transparent and then select the text and change the color. Or I can change the color of this background as well. So it's white. If I change it to grey and change the text back to white, then it stands out slightly more. And again, just like the blur, you would want to play around with the transparency until you get it looking exactly how you want it to look. Alternative options, if we get rid of this, so I'm going to leave that white text, again quite busy in the background, and this time I'm going to select the image, filter, and I'm going to take the colour out completely, and I'm going to make it a little bit darker. And there you can see that also helps us make the white text stand out. Let's look at another option. Instead of having such a busy background, I'm going to pull something over that's a little bit more subtle. As mentioned before, the filters will apply to any image that you pull across, so I'm going to reset those. Now here I may not need to make any changes at all. I could simply make the text a bit larger and it's ready to go. How would you pull this image together? Think carefully about what kind of backgrounds you might want to use and whether it's appropriate to make it transparent, blurred, or simply to put a shape over it with a little bit of transparency. Let's see what works for you.